Manila, Philippines. And then Illinois, His Excellency Richard Bonmoyas, the Undersecretary of State from the Government of Philippines, to also provide a few remarks, a few words on for the today workshop. And then last but not least, Our Excellency Manjamran, the Undersecretary of State of the Ministry of Interior and the Deputy Chair of the National Committee for Democratic Development Secretariat from the Ministry of Interior as well. He will provide the closing remarks. So let me start by congratulate to our two-day workshops on the open government partnerships. I am very delighted and very much appreciate that with the results of these two-day workshops. We come up with very useful welcome remarks and also opening remarks from the Alex representative of Ford Foundations, one of the funding partners for this event, and also keynote speaker from Alham Salam, the program directors of the Transparency International Indonesia. And then we got a very insightful and very meaningful and interactive keynote speaker from our Undersecretary of State from the Government of Philippines, Mr. Richard Bonmoyas. And then we also we have a presentation, a series of presentations from different speakers, including Karina from the Government of Indonesia, the Nanda, the Don, sorry, I cannot remember full name. Don from the Philippines, Chun Chan from Cambodia, and Napsan Thai from Cambodia, and other speakers where I could not describe all of the speakers. You come up with a lot of very insightful, very inspiring message, which I think within this two-day workshop we all are inspired. And we are encouraged to bring the principle of open government partnership, which is focusing on transparency, accountability, responsive, innovative, and try to meet the four criteria, eligible criteria is focusing on fiscal transparency, access to information, asset disclosure, and civic engagement. So we also have a small group discussion, Excellency. We also divide into small group discussion, and yesterday we got very honored guests as well from our government, the senior minister and the president of the anti-corruption unit, Excellency Argentine, who come to participate in the breakout sessions on the asset disclosures, as well as they also provide the intervention remarks on the position of the government of Cambodia. And he provides us a lot of hopes that government are able to look at the OGP and how the OGP can contribute the best to the development of Cambodia. This morning we also make divide into four small group discussions in order to look at what are the next the action point for all of us. We see that we have a lot of commitments, but the important thing is that the suggestion collectively suggested by this workshop is that only the government and Your Excellency here can decide to take lead on this initiative, and we all here very much hopes and expect that the Excellency and the government will consider to endorse the plan and to prepare yourself to become a members of OGP. What we believe, because once you become OGP, then you're going to have to get trust among the civil society and government, especially gain more trust from your constituency and the people at the ground, at the grassroots, which is the tool you are going to present as well. And also the reputation will be highly and widely and internationally promoted. The equity and the development will be ensured. The economic boosting will also be promoted, and sustainable development will be there as well. So I should stop now, but before I finish my remarks, I would like again to congratulate our international speakers, and we have a very small souvenirs and letters of appreciations. So let me invite my colleague to handle the appreciation letters and our scouts, which is another campaign on the I move against corruption and impunity for poverty reduction. So let's first provide to the Undersecretary of State from Philippines, Excellency Richard Moya, for his dedication on sharing a lot of insights and good news to us, and we learned a lot from his participation for this today. And your contribution would not be forgettable, and will help our people here to become leading countries in the region on promoting OGP. So colleagues, please bring those the souvenir and our. You ready? Okay, come on. And the second, I also would like to invite Karina. We also have appreciation of letter to you and the souvenir. Don, please also come to the stage. Alham, please also come to the stage. Nandar, come to the stage. I forget, let me have the list, all the speakers, including the Oki. Yes, we come to the stage, so we just handle our souvenir, very small souvenirs, but I hope you memorize us on this event. So. We cannot describe how much we thanks to you, how much we gratitude what you have contributed to us. So I hope that you continue to support us, especially government-to-government support. So please, one of the points, Excellency, yesterday and today is that the government from Philippines and Indonesia are ready to provide, continue to support government of Cambodia, including, like, if possible, their government can come to visit our government here, or possible our government here and the National Assembly can go and visit these countries. Yeah, that's a very good introduction. So please. I move against corruption. Nanda. Yes.
Oh, Contra.
Yes, Karina would like to have the red one. Okay? And our local speaker will be distributed next week. We will produce the letters of thanks in our language, so please be patient. So thank you so much for your contributions and your support. Without further ado, I would like to pass the mic to Ms. Heidi Lewis to provide a few words on behalf of the development partner who support this initiative in Cambodia, and also would like to hear the position of the development partner. What next? If you have learned a lot about this action point, and how are you going to position yourself in this commitment as well? So the floor is given to you.
Thank you, Sarun. My name is Heidi Ildupui. I was born in Prey in before the war, and I had to leave Cambodia in 1975. And my whole life, growing up in the US, I dream of coming back to this beautiful land. And I had a chance to come back in 2005 to work with Supervision. And I spent 5 years here working as advocacy director, and I trained many people on how to do advocacy. And today, I think the time is right to move in what we call partnership advocacy. And I believe in OGP because it's about partnership. It's about working together. And being partner is partner across different NGOs, across different countries, across government and NGOs, across people and government. And I think, I believe in that because I think sometimes when we have partners, we may or may not agree with our partners. But what's important is that we communicate with our partners and we learn from each other and we listen to each other. So sometimes it's very difficult. And I think if any one of you are married, you know. So this is the same way with partnership. But the reward is there. Working together, thinking that you're all on the same team is very important. So I think everyone in this room today is in the same team. And I think the principle of OGP is that when you function on the same team, when you play soccer, when you think like one team, you will succeed. And I think this is very important. Globally, there's been an expression that there is a deficit of trust in the world. As countries advance and grow richer, sometimes the status of the people and the government change. It has to change all the time. But the important thing is you have to change together and learn together. And this is, I think, is the principle of OGP, is to have government and citizens coming together, building trust. And I think trust is not something that happens in one day. It takes many years, you know. After Cambodia went through the war, it still takes many years, and we're still seeing, you know, rebuilding of the nation. And it would take time. But I think what we've seen here in the last 2 days has given me courage and hope to think that we can do more into the future. So I, in my small part in the ADB, joined with the Ford Foundation and the Open Partnership to do whatever we can to support government and to support its people, to ensure that there is open dialogue, there is partnership, and there is a room for engagement together. In the past 2 days, we've identified many areas that need to be worked on. And I think my encouragement is that for civil society groups represented here to engage early with government and to work as partner. And our encouragement to the government is that there are other government officials presented here from the Philippines, Indonesia, and there's a lot of goodwill in the region to learn from each other. And I think we stand to support government visits to Philippines, Indonesia, Indonesian government visiting here, back and forth. I think we had delegation from Vietnam here as well, because Vietnam is also interested. So as ADB and other donors, we stand to support the developing member countries to be successful in this endeavor to build partnership within the country and across the country. So thank you very much for inviting us.
Thank you so much, Heidi, for your very appreciative remarks and also very pledging remarks for all of us. We of course we are going to choose hope rather than choose fear. So thank you so much for this. Excellency Moya, so the floor is good to you.
Thank you. Please excuse me, I'm an old man. I need something to help me. Let me start by expressing my country's deep gratitude to the organizers of this forum and for the people of Phnom Penh for their hospitality. Akon Chan. I would also wish to thank the government and the civil society groups of Indonesia for giving us the privilege to be part of this event. Terima kasih. Let me continue by saying that the strength of our governments and economies, by no small measure, now depends on how we are open to innovation, how transparent we are, and how citizens are able to engage decision-making. We recognize that the changing global economy necessitates a change in the way we govern. We are now in the age of knowledge economy, where the mode of production is creating ideas, information, and knowledge that provide economic value. In this increasingly globalized realm, where trust secures business deals and diplomatic relationships between and among nations, openness, meaning by opening up our accounts, uploading public data, and engaging the public to speak and get involved, creates that enabling environment for building trust. Trust, I dare say, is the currency of the new knowledge economy. But trust, as we all know, is earned. We, in the government, should earn our people's trust, first and foremost. For we cannot negotiate with other countries in this age without the approval of our people. And we cannot steer development without grassroots ownership. This is why our government, under the leadership of President Aquino, is pursuing reforms to transform the Philippine budget process, among many reforms. With this reform agenda, we seek to achieve greater fiscal discipline, allocative efficiency, and operational efficiency. In other words, spending within our means, on the right priorities, and with measurable results. Moreover, we believe that we can only achieve these objectives of good public expenditure management if our efforts are built on strong foundations of transparency, accountability, and participation. Thus, we saw it fit to put fiscal openness at the heart of our budget reform agenda. We believe that transparency and participation should be part of the core business of any public financial management system. It is through which we place the citizens at the heart, not at the periphery of the budget process. While we're opening these spaces, we are conscious that constructive engagement won't take place without giving citizens access to information. Thus, we improve the accessibility of our budget information. Among the first reforms we introduced is to require, through a provision in the budget law, all government agencies to disclose through their websites information on their budgets, how these have been used, the programs and projects, awarded contracts, among others. We have also recently launched our open data platform that curates hundreds of public databases. We have also put up an online platform that details foreign aid we have received from the Typhoon Haiyan a year ago. And for this year's national budget, we made sure that our people can better understand where their money goes by listing every detail of the project, activities and programs of every national agency. For the first time, our budget contains not only financial information, but also performance information that citizens, through Congress or even by themselves, can use to hold agencies to account for how they fulfill their commitments in exchange for their budgets. We're committed to our endeavors for greater fiscal transparency for the long haul. We're opening our government not only because it's part of our international commitment, but more importantly because we're committed to what our people yearn for, an honest, transparent, and accountable government. We're committed to opening up the government because we know our progress rests on good governance. We firmly believe that development gravitates towards countries that hold leaders to account and demand citizens to participate. We know top-down approach to development can only go so far as communities must own their own development. And we've seen firsthand how the regime of accountability, transparency, and citizen engagement influences government priorities, changes public perception, invites traders and investors, and improves the economy. Ultimately, our reforms must lead to tangible benefits to the people. Our dream is to transform the national budget into the people's budget. We are already harvesting the benefits of many of our reforms. Poverty numbers have stopped declining after decades of going down and is beginning to see some improvement. The same for our unemployment numbers that are now picking up. Our economy is growing fast, fastest in Southeast Asia the last 2 years, and second in Asia. Now, we are more than happy to share with our neighbors and friends our experience, our continuing challenges, and our modest successes. Should you need any assistance, we would be honored to assist in this endeavor. Thank you very much for inviting us, and good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Excellency, for sharing your dreams, your government dreams, and also your government commitments and the practices which benefit the most for your peoples. And also share your commitment to continue to support our civil society here and also the government in Cambodia. So thank you again for being with us, and we hope you continue to support us. Excellency Jamaran, so the floor is given to you. Before this, again, on behalf of civil society representative here and the organizer of this event, we very much appreciate for your time and being with us today. Now we would like to invite you to provide the closing remarks.
Yeah, it really, fortunately for me, I mean, I prepared my short speak in English, so that's why it's good to talk with our neighboring countries, especially from donor countries. But I'm really unfortunately for our colleague from our NGO organization in Cambodia. I hope that you can listen to our translator. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by thanking all of you for attending this important meeting. I especially wish to thank to the CCC for bringing us all together and for organizing the material and presentations. I found the meeting fruitful and interesting. While the royal government of Cambodia has long been committed to the underlying principle of the OGP, availability of information about government activity, support of civic participation, integrities, and the use of technology to promote openness and accountability. I'm not in a position to say today whether the government will submit a letter of intent or whether Cambodia meets the eligibility requirement to participate in the OGP. But what I can talk about are some of the experience and challenges we have had in the implementing of subnational activity that fall under the OGP. Open data, quite the same as our colleague from the Philippines, is one of the clusters of the OGP. At NCDD, I mean National Committee for Democratic Development at the subnational level, it is short, NCDD. We already make a huge amount of information available to the public. The CDB, I mean the commune database, contain information about every commune, its policies and socio-economic profile. Over 600 indicators are organized into commune level report telling the readers everything they need to know about their commune. Also, we have the PID, the Project Implementation Database. This lists all major commune projects. For example, what roads are being built, what they are expected to cost, who the contractors is, as well as other procurement information. So we already have the infrastructures, we have our people, and we have a willingness to provide a lot of information to the public. But there are some problems, still some problems. Some of which we have started to tackle. The information is not very timely. There's often a backlog of data, and there's probably too much data in our information system. In general, councillors do not discuss this kind of data in their council meeting. The system is being used for national rather than for local purpose. A bigger challenge is the presentation and the communication. For the information to be useful at the local level, the citizens, local community to understand the information and constructively engage subnational administration. The information must be provided in a very simple to understand format. So we need to focus the data, get to a core set of actionable information, and to present it in poster, brochure, or other material. We know from our experience, this takes a very, very long time to develop. At NCDD Secretariat, in consultation with the civil society organization and with feedback from our citizens, it took us almost 1 year to agree on what the most essential standard, right, indicator, and financial information for citizens are, and how to present this in a way people living in a rural community can best understand. We have a long tradition of civic participation and engagement at subnational level. Every year, village planning consultations are held. This provides an opportunity for subnational administration to listen to the citizen and for citizens to influence the most important decision their commune council make, what project to implement. Citizens are also represented on the project management committee and are encouraged to attend council meetings. These are all quite open. At district level, they have just finished designing district forum, where each year district will describe their performance and discuss with citizens and civil society organizations the issue and constraint they are facing with. Although data is collected and citizens participate in important subnational planning events, the current strategy has been to monitor subnational administration performance internally within the government, rather than providing information and procedures to facilitate the public and civil society to do the monitoring. Enabling citizens and civil society through information rather than doing it all ourselves, from the government side, is a very different way of doing things. During 2015, we will begin implementing a social accountability program focusing on improving primary school, commune sangkat administration, and health centers. This includes a lot of important OGP elements. Citizens will engage subnational administration about performance. Information on budget and expenditures will be provided to the public. Citizens will monitor subnational administration using citizen scorecard and information provided by the government. We will create regulation requiring to disclose the subnational information. Since information is already computerized, we could extend the social accountability material to provide important contact information in real time. So if there will be any issue with procurement, they can come to light at an early point. For any of these things to work, a large investment in awareness, facilitations, and communication is needed. Much of this has to be verbal, and like I said, all of it has to be very, very simple. Civil society will need to take an active role in mobilizing citizens and facilitating their understanding, because just providing information will not be enough. Finally, I cannot say whether, as a country, we should focus on our attention on national issue or subnational issue one, or whether we should address large gap or start with some of the low-hanging fruit I have just described. In the case of subnational administration, I think a strong public commitment to the OGP with the participation of and monitoring by civil society would be beneficial. And thank you for your attention. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Excellency, for providing closing remarks with indicating a lot of progress has been made by the Royal Government of Cambodia, especially how the subnational administration respond to the needs of the citizens. Especially the Excellency highlight a lot about the social accountability framework, which is the tool that can very much respond to the criteria of the OGP. So I think within this room, on behalf of civil society in this room, we would like to congratulate this effort that has been made by the government. And I think these practices can be also rolled out and also replicate and expand into the national level. So please give this big hand, a big clap to this. So once again, thank you very much, and I would like to pass the floor to our MC. Thank you.
ចាសសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណដល់លោកសឿងសរឿនចាសលោកស្រីខៃឌីអ៊ីរ៉ាពុយចាសឯកឧត្តមរីឆាតប៊ុនម៉ូយ៉ាចាសក៏សូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណយ៉ាងជ្រាលជ្រៅចំពោះសន្ទរកថាបទសិក្ខាសាលាដែលបានផ្ដល់ក្រមវត្តមានដ៏ខ្ពង់ខ្ពស់របស់ឯកឧត្តមហានចម្រើនចាសដូច្នេះមុននឹងបញ្ចប់នៅអង្គសិក្ខាសាលារបស់យើងនាងខ្ញុំសូមគោរពអញ្ជើញឯកឧត្តមលោកស្រីអ្នកនាងកញ្ញាចាសមេត្តាក្រោកឈរឡើងដើម្បីគោរពព្រះជាតិនៃព្រះរាជាណាចក្រកម្ពុជាចាសចាសសូមអញ្ជើញគោរព
my first time in Cambodia. Very beautiful. I asked to stay. There's no flight tomorrow. So Sunday early morning. Tomorrow I go to Russia. I asked a friend to buy.
ចាសូមអធិស្ឋានសូមអនុញ្ញាតប្រកាសរកម្ចាស់ចាមានអស់លោកស្រីណាដែលបានផ្លេចចាហើយខ្លះនេះចាដែលយកមកពុកពីឯកសារ
I